Right now on 10 News at 11.
More stunning developments to contain the coronavirus. The city of San Diego is now also under a state of emergency, and the county declares a ban on all mass gatherings.
So we fully expect and know that we will get more cases, and yes, we will have deaths.
Local leaders taking action as we prepare for things to get worse before they get better. Businesses, hospitals, sports, and our communities all being impacted by the global pandemic.
Live from the Scripps Studios, this is 10 News.
In just 1 hour at midnight, sweeping restrictions will take effect in San Diego County. A public health order will ban gatherings of 250 people or more. Health officials are trying to slow the coronavirus, which they now believe is spreading person to person in the county. We have team coverage on this big story, including the recommendations for older San Diegans to stay home and the effect on the sports world. We begin with 10 News anchor Derek Stahl. He's live at MCAS Miramar, where more people are expected to enter quarantine soon. Derek?
Yeah, another plane full of passengers from the coronavirus-stricken cruise ship. The Princess cruise ship will arrive here in about 40 minutes. They'll be quarantined here on the base with about 400 people. But today, county health officials announced 5 new cases of coronavirus outside the base that have them worried about community spread. With hospitals bracing for a possible influx of patients, Sharp Memorial is one of several facilities setting up an outdoor tent to screen people for coronavirus, a welcome sight for visitors like Justin McCottis.
So knowing that it's safer for my family inside, it's much better.
Health officials now believe the virus is spreading person to person in the county for the first time.
So we fully expect and know that we will get more cases, and yes, we will have deaths.
County health officials ordered new restrictions on hospitals and other care facilities, limiting non-essential personnel and visitors trying to see loved ones.
And we are doing that not only to protect the public health, but we're doing that to protect our healthcare system. We want to desperately avoid any overtaxing or overwhelming of our public health system.
But the biggest news is that starting tomorrow, conventions, concerts, any gathering of 250 people or more will be banned to try to stop the spread. People over 65 or ones with underlying health issues are being urged to stay home. The county rolled out new hand washing stations and secured 90 motel rooms for individuals who don't have a place to self-quarantine. County health officials say they're working to boost testing capabilities with possible drive-through testing or at-home testing, but they offered this warning.
We will not be able to test everyone. So I think that's very important for everyone to know. And once we have community-wide spread, if people are stable, they have symptoms that are similar to a cold or a mild flu, we will ask them to stay at home until their symptoms are resolved.
So far, health officials say there have only been one case of suspected person-to-person spread. They think we're still early in this. They don't think there's widespread community transmission at this point. Meantime, a spokesperson for Sharp Hospital tells me that the tent is not activated yet. They're waiting until they see more cases, and they're going to meet tomorrow to discuss those visitor restrictions. Reporting live, I'm Derek Stahl, 10 News.
Sobering news from the county today. Okay, thank you, Derek. The coronavirus is mysteriously sparing children and threatening our elderly, meaning it's behaving very differently from other viruses and the seasonal flu. We continue team coverage with 10 News reporter Laura Acevedo with the guidance being given to those over 60, beginning with stay at home as much as possible.
We spoke to several people over the age of 65 here at this grocery store. They tell me they are taking certain precautions, but are trying not to panic. This was the warning from the county to senior citizens ages 65 years and older.
To cancel non-essential travel, to prioritize staying at home, and to avoid large crowds or mass gatherings of any amount.
According to the CDC, the elderly are among those with a higher risk of getting very sick from COVID-19. At this grocery store in Rancho Bernardo, some trying to grab essentials walked into chaos.
It's like you can't get through the aisles. There's so many people. The lines are so long to check out.
Sunny Lee is 84 years old and likes to be very active, already dealing with a canceled concert next week.
I feel like I have cabin fever.
Lee says she has no health issues and isn't panicking, but worries what if.
I live alone. I don't have anybody, no family that lives around here, so therefore, who's going to take care of me?
In Poway, the VFW had a meeting on Thursday to warn their elderly members about the risks.
I would say probably 70% of our clientele, the comrades that come here, are older war vets.
They've been making sure the post stays clean, postponing an event to honor Vietnam vets at the end of the month, but otherwise operating as usual.
Yeah, they need to be more cautious. Like you said, if they have an underlying condition, then we need to, think about not coming down here.
Laura Acevedo, 10 News.
More online ordering is being recommended for those people rather than going into the stores. The global pandemic has swiftly brought large-scale activities to a standstill. Sports fans are already missing their favorite teams after virtually the entire sports world came to a halt today to slow the spread of the coronavirus. And 10 News Sports Director Ben Higgins is here now with the unprecedented cancellations.
It is hard to believe that there won't be an NCAA tournament this season, and we don't know how long we might need to wait for the start of baseball season.
The bracket will remain forever empty. The San Diego State Aztecs were just one of the teams with massive March dreams, but as senior KJ Fagan pointed out on Twitter, they're left with a giant what if. But the impact of canceling the NCAA tournament goes far beyond devastated college basketball players.
There are restaurants that get impacted. There are the caterers that, provide the food that's sold to fans. It's the ushers. It's the part-time people who rely on these jobs for their income.
Baseball fans remain hopeful their sport will return, even though opening day has been delayed at least 2 weeks. Padres players now find themselves in a state of limbo after spring training was halted. Even the PGA Tour did an about-face after playing the first round of the Players' Championship, canceling all tournaments before the Masters. The NBA was the first to take the dramatic step of suspending their season. Commissioner Adam Silver says he simply didn't want players to make the crisis any worse.
They're in contact with people in the arenas, they're in contact with people in restaurants, hotels, and other places. That's how a virus can spread.
A second NBA All-Star tested positive for the virus. Donovan Mitchell joins Utah Jazz teammate Rudy Gobert, who apologized via Instagram for his careless behavior that may have put others at risk before he was diagnosed with the virus.
And even youth sports aren't immune. Little League announced today they're recommending a temporary suspension of all activities until at least April 6th. I'm Ben Higgins, 10 News.
Thank you, Ben. From businesses to schools, medical care to travel, we know the impact of the coronavirus in our county is extensive. We want to give you a path to reach out. Let us know if the pandemic is affecting your daily life. And that message can be sent to tips@10news.com. You can help us tell your stories. A SWAT standoff now heading into its 10th hour in Hillcrest. An armed man barricaded inside a home on 4th Avenue after getting into a shootout with police. 10 News reporter Anthony Pura is live in Hillcrest, where there is no indication this standoff will end anytime soon. Anthony?
Kimberly, there's just no sign that he's ready to give up tonight. He is inside this building here. Police say the suspect is in his early 20s and is suicidal. From the outside, it's hard to say exactly what's happening in there, but I spoke with a former SWAT commander who says there are trained professionals working this, and their goal is to get this man out of there unharmed. Police units laying siege surrounding an armed man that's barricaded himself inside this building on the corner of 4th and Robinson in Hillcrest.
There was a bunch of helicopters and cop cars, and they closed off all the roads.
A broken window seen on the west end of the building. The situation escalating after police say the shooter fired at them, forcing officers to return fire. None of the bullets caused any harm. Workers at a nearby building hearing the gunshots before being evacuated by police.
We were confused. There was a lot of adrenaline. We were just grabbing the essentials and getting out of there.
Police say they were called to this building Thursday morning after the suspect contacted them, threatening to hurt himself and saying he wanted to commit suicide by cop, triggering the intense hours-long standoff lasting into the night. Around 7:15, loud bangs could be heard. Former San Diego Police SWAT Commander Ray Shea talked with 10 News over the phone. He couldn't say for sure what the sounds were, but says it could be part of the negotiating tactic.
And they made us stop talking, and you want to get their attention, so you may use some sound diversionary devices, or you may want to just pound on a door. You want to re-engage communication with the person.
Adding the longer it lasts, the better.
Evidently, the person is communicating, which is so important, and statistically, the longer the person communicates, the more likelihood is that it'll end safely.
And several people were evacuated as a result of this standoff. The Red Cross is on scene helping those people that need help. We're reporting live tonight. Anthony Pura, 10 News.
We're hoping for a safe outcome. Thank you, Anthony. The rain is back, and we still have more to come as we head into the weekend. 10 News meteorologist Angelica Campos is tracking the storm for us. Hi, Angelica.
Hi, Kim. The same storm continues moving slowly, and as it tracks east, is going to keep the chance for rain. So let me show you where the storm is now. Is now getting closer and closer to our coastline, and ahead of it, the wind pattern coming from the south, pulling in moisture. So let's get closer to the county so you get a better idea of what is happening out there. And it's not everyone, but clearly it is definitely close to North Park, San Diego, and even the Coronado area where we've seen a couple of those showers in the North County. A little bit more spotty just east of Escondido, or as that rain kind of pushes off to the east, we will see more rain into tomorrow morning. I'll pinpoint what to expect for the commute.